Hey guys, this is gonna be a bit weird. Try to keep up with what I'm about to say. So, at this point, I've already beat the game, but I had to create a new save file because this episode got corrupted. Like, I recorded it and the video is a complete mess. So, here's what I'm gonna beat the same bosses that I beat on that episode, and next episode, episode 4, it's going back to normal. Okay, it's gonna be my first impressions again. But this whole episode, which should be pretty short because I already know how to beat the bosses, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be shorter. And I already beat the game, essentially, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. So, there's this dude here. I don't know what he does. I actually don't know. Even after finishing the game, I don't know what he does. And there's this boss. So here's what this guy does. He shoots things. He's always facing me, so no matter where I go, if I go up there, he's still facing me. And he shoots more and more things. And then he starts over. Okay, now he's gonna shoot 3 things. Now he's gonna shoot 5 things. Now he's gonna shoot 7, I want to say. And now he's gonna shoot either 7 again, or he's up to 11. And his weak spot is on the back, so what you gotta do is kind of retrieve your arrow and hit him in the back. But you gotta do it so your arrow has enough motion, like enough speed, otherwise it won't kill him. Pretty easy boss. Took me a while to figure out how to hit his back spot. Like, it was obvious from the start that his back was the weak spot. I tried bouncing arrows off the walls, but that never works because there's not enough speed on the arrow. If you want to keep some distance to avoid the fireballs and you want to bounce it off the wall, also there's those pillars that kind of, you see, it doesn't work. But I tried that a couple of times because my first thought was obviously retrieve the arrow, but the arrow was always so close to the boss that it didn't have enough speed to it. Up here, I didn't find anything on that episode. I found something later, but you'll see. Because, yeah, I didn't find the second boss at the time. But turns out you don't need to find that second boss. You can go through to the next area without defeating that second boss. But we're not going to the next area just yet. Or at least not through the gates. We still have the top right section to explore. And the top right section, I'm gonna say maybe it's for the best that I'm recording this for the second time, because it's a maze. And being a maze, you can get lost in there, you know, pretty easily. And you'll see the type of maze that it is very, very soon. Yeah, it's this forest area, but I think this way? Yeah, there we go. Keep going up. And here we are. So, 2 more bosses, and it's this type of maze where you go here and you keep going forward and you're back at the start. So if you take a wrong turn, basically, you're back at the start. Now, because I already beat the maze, I already know where to go. But every wrong turn, like, there's nothing to explore here except for one thing that I will show you later. Like, if I go to that side, I'll be back at the start. You're not missing anything. I'm just going straight for the right path, sort of. This is a mushroom boss. Oh, I remember this one being a lucky shot when I defeated him. Might be a bit tough. This is one of the harshest checkpoints. You gotta run quite a bit to get over there. Not too much, but again, brings up that same complaint I had with why do you respawn at checkpoints? There's no good reason to. Just put me back at the door. Unless there's some story reason to it, but I'm still figuring out the story at this point. You'll see some stuff during the next episodes, but it's not entirely clear. It's very Dark Soulish, you know? Fuck. It was about to turn its little mouth. I think you've all seen what the weak point is. It's that pink sort of mouth area. I'm gonna call it a mouth. And the boss does those big jumps, tries to stomp you. When it lands, it sends out those spores. And after a couple of big jumps, it will, like, sort of send out tons of spores, but kind of rotate in place, and that's usually when I try to take my shots. But now he's rotating with his mouth away from me, so... That's... nope. Yeah, I'm drugged. I'm glad you got to see that. The music also changes. Kind of sad I didn't stay alive for longer. I think it's the purple ones. The purple ones make you drugged and don't kill you right away. Also, there seemed to be like a slow motion effect. So maybe they even make the fight easier. But it's such a slight difference that I'm not entirely sure that that is the case. I should start dodging to the upper side. Gotcha. All right. And you're back at the center. This is sort of the only path that doesn't lead to a boss, but it's also not a wrong path. It's this river area. And that, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Looks like a key on the top, something else on the bottom. When they merge, it becomes an octopus. I don't know. And every single exit here leads back to the beginning. This one's kind of clever, because you have to go back to go to the boss. Every other path leads back to the beginning as well. Now, what was this guy? Oh, it's the plant dude. So for this guy, you can actually destroy the tentacles. I usually don't do it, because, you know, they become fixed obstacles, like that. And you're kind of forced to go the other way, and I find the tentacles pretty easy to dodge while they're attached to the plant. So I just leave them be. The weak spot is the mouth, once again. Plants seem to have a theme. Mouth is their weak spot. And there's these poison clouds. They don't kill you right away, unless you stay in them for kind of a long time. Like that. Mouth. And now you sort of pull your arrow out, and that happens. It opens up the plant, and that's when you can kill it. But if you take too long, the plant closes up again. So you gotta be kind of fast, and at that time I also had the poison cloud on top of me, so kind of bad luck, I want to say. But then again, maybe it's not randomized, and it's just me not thinking through enough. It's now going to the other side. Now one more step, and shoot it, and pull it out, like at a distance, so I don't have to deal with that. Gotcha. Just gotta be fast in this fight. Just gotta be fast. And a little furious. I've been watching those movies lately. I want to... I've watched them a while ago. I've convinced my girlfriend to watch them. So I've been re-watching the Fast and Furious, because I want to go watch Furious 7 at the movies, but I had no one to do it with. And I've sort of convinced her that those movies became cool. I'm not a fan of the first 3. They're kind of like car movies. But then they become character-driven action movies that happen to have cars in them. But they're not really car movies. Let's street race and climb to the top of the chain or whatever, you know? They became good. So that's enough to open this door. Which takes us to a new area, which is pretty close to the end. But turns out I missed a bunch of bosses, so spoiler alert, I'm going back to defeat those bosses. Not sure if on the next episode or 2 episodes from now, because there's a fight here that is pretty tough. I'm not sure how many times I died. I might even cut some of those attempts out, because the video is way too long. So, doesn't matter if you go left or right here, because you will come out in this place. If you came out from the right, you would come out from the right. And this is where it ended. Right here. So, thank you for watching. Apologies, but it's out of my control. Sometimes you record stuff and it's broken. But that's exactly what happened, so yeah. Thank you for watching. See you guys tomorrow.